Good answer. Is there a Lady of the Rose to speak?
Yes, Your Majesty. I'm Kalista Morganova, Lady of the Rose of our most beautiful life of Mark, and I would speak for Elena. I would speak on behalf of Elena's fortitude and her drive to always encourage honor above everything else. Many years ago at Pendic, one of my very first, I remember Elena running up to the field, and she had moved to camp very early, and part of the reason was she said she had to meet with her student. She was merely a cadet, and she was working with this young gentleman, and when she came back, I asked how their time together went, and she shared that they had been speaking on honor, and she was giving him studies on the various levels of chivalry, the many tenets, and of those she felt one of the greatest was honor. And she spoke to me at length about what they had discussed and where her stand was on this and how she felt this was so important to him as a young student. Later, as the baby rose, right after our crown tournament, I came to her for advice, and the words from her mouth were, "The most important thing I can tell you, Kalista, is to always do everything with honor. Every word that comes from your mouth, every action that you go forward with, make sure it's done, always thinking first of your kingdom and with honor." This exemplifies Elena to me. She stands forward in all things and puts nothing less than her very best forth, all for the honor of her kingdom and of her people. These are my words.
Is there a member of the Order of the Chivalry who will speak?
I'm Merrick Yakrago, a Knight of the Society, and I get to have this one.
Mine.
So normally I feel we would speak from prowess, and you all have already decided that you have. And again, fighting is fighting, which is what I have been told by the members of the fencing community as I started to do the crossover program. Again, it is way different than what we do, but it's been enjoyable. I would like to speak on courage. As knights, we wear spurs to remind us that we are part of a chivalric order, a horse-born order, where we would ride horses into battle. The spurs are actually to convince the horse to go forward, and they remind us that we always go forward into battle. The spurs are necessary because the horses are quite often smarter than us. Again, as a knight, we go forward into battle. We put ourselves in forefront in the hazard. There are times, such as at a golf course several years ago, where the entire event was shut down by a tornado that crossed through the event. And during the course of this, as scared as everybody was, there are still people that were standing against the storm, just running out of the maelstrom, driving in tent stakes, pushing up poles, hanging new ropes, and it did not go unnoticed. It makes you my fear. And again, at the time, I was not a peer. But it was very impressive. That's Your Majesty.
Are there words from a pelican?
That honor falls to us, Your Majesties.
Thank you. Dual pelican.
Well, she's served so much that she needs 2 people to describe all of them. And we are wonderful majesties, order, and wonderful people watching. I am Mistress Gabrielle de Winter. First, she was my queen. She was a woman of gentle renown, plucked from the merchant class and thrown right into the deepest part of the SCA pool. She started right away serving us in one of the hardest positions it is to take. As a queen, she sought people who had not been recognized and showed them that the royals care, that the royals will listen, and she rose up many people and heard and listened to a lot of people, made them feel special and heard, and she inspired all of us through her gentle actions. And she inspired me many times because I knew she wanted to be on the fencing field. She sort of longingly looked towards the fencers. I was her guard, and I looked at her, and I was like, at one event, I was like, surely you could get away for just an hour. And she said, no, that's not why I'm here. And then she was my sword sister. And while I was her sword sister, I learned that she puts value on community. We created shenanigans together because she believed that good memories and the bonding of people doing things that made them happy would strengthen us. And she's right. She's one of the most generous people I've ever met. She will give you anything that she thinks you need, whether it be a roll of duct tape or an entire household. She is always there to serve by helping you reach your excellence. She has used her skills as a seamstress to get us beautiful clothes, to make us look beautiful on the field and to feel stronger in ourselves. Because when you look good, it makes a little bit better. She has used her skills as a teacher to create drills and classes that help us become better fencers and to help us reach our goals and to make us be better as fencers. And she encourages honor to make us better people. Oh, the known world should tremble even as we celebrate. For what wondrous deeds will she commit on the fencing field? What marvelous and great acts of kindness and generosity of honor will she commit off of them? I know there will be many, Your Majesties, and I look forward to seeing them all. That is why, 100%, without any doubt in my heart, she is my peer.
I am Master Robert O'Connor, a member of the Order of the Pelican, by the grace of these good gentlemen before you. I will speak for her for what not is seen, but what is unseen, for the inspiration that she has provided, for numerous fencers that you have all fought, whoever has been in the fencing community, that she is inspired to take the field, that she has trained. The inspiration is there, inspiration to do service. I have been chasing her my entire SCA life, trying to live up to her example. Many times I have failed, sometimes I have succeeded, but I have always lived with the inspiration she has given me and the others of my household. You saw all the members that preceded her today. All of them looked to her for a house, for our inspiration. She made me the peer that I am. So what else can I say? But she is my peer, and she always has been. Thank you.
Their Majesties would hear the words of a royal peer.
My sovereigns, I am Malcolm McEwen, Duke of the Kingdom of Ethelmar. I bid you greeting, my sovereigns, your highnesses, your majesty and excellence. This society is governed by a great document called Corpora. You are all very familiar with it. Article 4, Section C, articulates the duties of the crown. and what they are responsible for. They are to be the examples of what this society means. They are to foster others, and they are to recognize those who deserve to be recognized. Those are the primary duties of the crown. When one steps down from that responsibility in that focused moment, it does not leave us. We become royal peers. We are never released from those expectations. As royal peers, we foster those, we recognize those who would grow. We see kindling and we start the fire. We see people questing, we help them on their journey. We see those who have achieved greatness and we inspire them to reach even higher. Your Majesties, Her Excellency is a royal peer. She has done all of these things that are great and peer-like qualities of her own accord. Her actions speak for themselves.
Their Majesties would hear words from a jewel of Athelmart.
Your Majesties, I am Morgan of Rye, 23rd Jewel of Athelmart, and I would speak for this woman who kneels before you. I have known Elena for some years, and we have fought together on the rapier field, we have fought together on the heavy field, we have made clothes together, we have had fun together. As a Jewel of Athelmart, I have the task of describing what is it about this person who is before you, who embodies what we want Athelmart to be. And the list is very long when it comes to this lady. She is someone who will help others. She is someone who will teach others. She is someone for whom I'm sure there are many people who have looked out on the field, seen her, and said, that's it. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to look like. That's what my SCA is. She does that for us all. She does that for me. Because of that, she has been my peer, and I am glad that your Majesties are doing this.
Their Majesties would hear words from a member of the Order of the Laurel.
Your Majesties, I'm Christiane de Waterden, Laurel of Ethelmart, and I would speak of Elena d'Artois. Some of the tribulations I've had with Elena d'Artois. You may or may not know that Elena d'Artois is my apprentice. And something that often happens between apprentices and laurels is that one might ask them to begin to work on certain aspects of their work and apply those aspects. And we had gotten together and we had done some of this very work. Is she snickering?
She's scared.
You understand what I go through. But it's true. She had said, I would like to make nicer looking shirts around the field. And so we worked on something, and she found a way to make this more lovely, more period shirt that was just wonderful. And she said, I'm going to make these, and you'll see me wearing these at Pensick, because in truth, a lot of times she sews a lot, not so often for herself, but for others. So I was excited to go to Pensick. I see her walking our campus between her camp and the fencing field. she comes out in this beautiful white billowy shirt. The sun is shining down. It's like a dream. And as a Laurel, I'm like, oh, my heart, be still. And she says, I gotta go fence, bye. And she goes off to the fencing field. She says, I'll come back and show this to you. So I see her come back, and lo and behold, she's not wearing the beautiful white shiny shirt. In fact, this shirt that she has on has the definite, not grunge, but patina of authenticity. I said, go castigate. Very good. So the next morning, I'm waiting. And I knew that there were 3 shirts that she had made. So the second shirt goes out. I see her top of her head as she goes past the fence. And I'm like, what is going on? I don't understand. So the third day, she goes rushing off to the field with several students and other folks who are going to fight. And she says, gotta go, gotta take these people to the fencing field. I'll come back and show you this whenever I come back. So at the end of the day, I see her rushing past the fence, and I swear to goodness she's wearing I think an old pillowcase with the sleeves cut off. But I don't know where it came from, but it definitely was not a shirt. So I stood in the middle of the street on the 4th day, and I said, come in here, I have to talk to you as your peer. What is happening? Why will I not see this shirt that you've made, this wonderful new pattern? I can see that it's lovely and it's better. And she says, I have to tell you, I had the first shirt, and I gave them that first shirt. That was the first day. And so I thought I'd see you the second day. The second day, I went to the fighting field, and there was a person who was asked to stand in the Rose tournament, and they felt that they didn't have an appropriate garment to wear to stand for a queen, and I gave them my shirt. And on the last day, well, what happened with that was there was a person who was really new who didn't have a garment that they could go out and that they could take the rapier field in. So I gave them my shirt. So please don't be mad at me, but you know what? My shirts, I can always make myself another shirt. But in that moment, those people, they were able to take what I had made, something I made, and they were able to go and do something that they might not have otherwise done. And they were able to be in a place and a time and a moment that they might not have otherwise gotten to experience. And I'm glad that I can do that because I can always make myself another shirt. I give you these words so that you understand the heart of Elena d'Artois and how that she uses those skills and talents to support our kingdom, to support the rapier, and to really share what the society is all about.
Is there a Dorinda?
I was also asked to speak today to the art of Elena d'Artois. Obviously, the Order of Defense is a martial order, but one cannot become a peer without displaying an appreciation and a skill in the arts and sciences. The skill of Elena is displayed on the backs of the fencers on the field every day. Today, I wear garb from Elena. Elena has worked very hard on her art. She works very hard to make the garb that she makes historically accurate. The garb that she makes must also be very durable so that one may wear it on the field. And as I am incredibly grateful for today, much of it is also machine washable. She has given freely of her art, and it is one of many ways that she has demonstrated leadership in the fencing community and has made the fencing community a better place, which, as you know, is a mark of a peer in the fencing peerage. And she is well worthy of this peerage.
Is there a member of the Order of Defense, so to speak?
Open that way. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Christian from la Prise de Vanille. I've long had the privilege of close association with Elena and her father. I'm going to have to ask you to forgive me. I'm quite overcome with emotion today. So I'm afraid I need to reference something I've written. Once upon a time, there was a king of Athelmark who had all the things that kings and stories were supposed to be. As grand a thing as this is not all of them as true. Among her passions was the pursuit of arms. This being no trivial matter, she sought a teacher to aid her in walking the path of the sword. This is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. Elena d'Artois has been a ferocious student of the art of defense, growing greatly in her skills and her knowledge. She has diverse mastery of arms. She has presented strongly on the field for years in diverse kingdoms, and not only of her own skills, but those of her students and those people that she has inspired. She has demonstrated her valor upon both the field of rapier and in the armed community. She is well versed in many forms of historic combat. She has mastered skills both peace and war. She has raised up others that their lights might shine. She has made society a better place. She's made us stronger, and she's kicked a little ass along the way. It is with pride and a few tears that I am privileged to call Elena my dearest day. Thank you for making us happy, Majesties. I could not be more delighted to stand next to her as well.
Having heard these words, is it your wish to continue, Your Majesties?
I, Elena d'Artois, Countess in the Kingdom of Athelmark, 42nd White Scarf of the Kingdom of Athelmark, do solemnly promise to use all of my skills, my energy, my time, my motivation, knowledge, and love to further fencing, cut and thrust, and all things that represent what Athelmark has been known for. I give these words freely and with great enthusiasm. My king, my queen, my sword, my needle, my buckler are yours to command.
Is there a hood?
You mean cook?
Hood. There's no hood. Is there a cloak? Maybe. Are there garters? Is the book ready?
Indeed, there is a book.
inscribed the Masters of Defense paperwork. Some settling may have happened.
Are there callers? Is the ancestral caller present?
It is, Your Majesties, this is the ancestral collar of the Masters of Defense of Ethelmark. It was first presented to Dorinda de Courtenay, then to Orlando de Benedillinta, to Quinn Kerr, to William Paris, to Benedict Fergus at Mead, Tiago Benitez, to Anais Fenn, then Bastiano di Jacopo, Ludovic of Gray's Inn, Clewin Kupfer Heldelink, then to Emily of Dunvegan, to Fredeberg von Katzenellenbogen, to Eric Grenier de la Barre, then to Jacob of Dunmore, who gave it to Jacob Martinson, who gave it to Poe Silvertop. Your Majesties, we would ask that you present it to Elena Dorfman.
So, Her Excellency has asked for a buffet as in tradition of the first Master of Defense made in the West Kingdom.
You know what, take over. Take over.
So, let this be your last unanswered blow.
Countess Elena awaits, training. That which is not dead may still eternal lie, and though roses grace and blade, even death itself may die. Many are the ancient eldritch tomes that she hath researched, and the wisdom of the great masters of old are now hers to share with her kingdom in the known world. Countless are those, arrayed in her finery, who have followed her command into battle, both upon sylvan soil and abroad. Greater still are the numbers of her students, both direct and through the etudes she teaches, indirect. Hers is indeed a proud and established lineage. Her skill cannot be described. There is no language for such abysms of prowess and immemorial intricacy, such masterful domination of all distance, time, and spatial order. It is made evident in her victory and service, vanquishing all opponents as champion, both within and beyond our borders. Match Elena's blade? Madness! For you know, on the second day of the 4th month, the stars are aligned right for us, Gareth and Juliana, King and Queen of Sylvan Athelmark, by word and hand, to elevate the 42nd White Scarf to the Order of the Masters of Defense, in recognition and acknowledgement of her prowess, knowledge, and service, bestowing upon her arms patent, and thus proclaiming her a defender of Athelmark. With the requisite regalia of such, being a livery collar of white suspending, at a badge of that order, tinctureless, 3 rapiers impaled, inverted, and tips crossed, so that all may know her worth and station. Done this 2nd day of April, Anno Societatis 56, within our barony march of the debatable lands. The wording is by Master Poe Silvertop and Don Cyrus Auger, with calligraphy and illumination as a work in progress by Mistress Roberta McMorland. Too temporary.
Temporarily, but you gotta give it back.
It's going home with Diego, parent. Noble populace, I present to you the newest Mater of Defense, Elena.